Welcome to the All Need Music Podcast. I'm Matt,
And I'm Jesse.
and we're back again. No chipper excitement in my voice today.
Nope. As usual, look at this. We're podcasting in the daytime hours again. The early morning hours.
Yeah.
No rest for the wicked here.
No,
Matt had to go out for live music the last 2 nights, so he's dragging a little bit.
No, Matt is dragging because of too much manual labor. We're still dealing with the aftermath of the ice apocalypse up here, and been doing yard work every day between my house and now at my parents' house, just clearing debris. I don't even want to look at a toothpick ever again, to be honest with you.
When are we doing a bonfire?
I already told Megan, I was like, I hate everything wood. I don't like paper anymore. I don't like trees. I don't like sticks. I don't like shish kebabs. Nothing. I hate them all.
I'm done with it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I did get in a concert, though, on Friday night with Carl. Saw Soul Asylum at...
Country music legends?
No.
Oh.
No. Soul Asylum.
Dude looks old, man.
It's because we are.
No, I said him.
Yeah. And
no,
I'm saying we are. But that was a good show at Odawa. They've got a couple more shows coming up there in the near future. They've got Aaron Tippin on May 9th. They've got Them Dirty Roses on May 31st.
Oh, they coming back there?
Yep. And
is this at Ovations or
so Odawa hasn't put anything out about Them Dirty Roses yet. It's on their website and it's on Bands in Town, but they weren't even advertising it at the show the other night. The only ones they were advertising at the show the other night was Aaron Tippin, and then Chase Matthew will be there while we're in Nashville for CMA Fest on June 7th. So there was literally no mention of Them Dirty Roses, which was really surprising to me. But you've seen it up here before, like the marketing and advertising for concerts, whether it be the fair, whether it be, there's another one at, what's it called there? The Jerkin Depot.
Harbor.
Well, Bay Harbor's the same way too, but the Jerkin Depot in Alanson's doing a little mini festival there.
I saw that, yeah.
And, Odawa, and that Brian Martin show in September with Taylor Austin Die. There's still, I've not seen anything at all for that whatsoever. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, create a Facebook event for it, at least, to let people click that they're interested so that it shows up on their news feed for their friends and get the word out. That costs nothing.
Right. Yeah, I've said that, and people that have watched like season 1 of our podcast, we've talked. What Matt's talking about is a Odawa Casino in Petoskey is where he went to, where they usually run a summer concert series that we see quite a few people up there. We got to see Jake Slay up there,
Neon Union,
and many more. Neon Union, Sam Grow,
Them Dirty
CJ
Roses.
Solar, Them Dirty Roses. But yeah, it's one thing that with me being down in mid-Michigan, like we get quite a bit of advertisement for the Soaring Eagle Casino. They have quite a few concerts there, but then just other places around here. Grand Rapids is about 45 minutes, hour away. That's Van Andel. We get all kinds of stuff from Detroit, all that, but up north,
even the smaller venues, 20 Monroe Live,
right?
The Intersection, they advertise the hell out of stuff.
Machine Shop, yeah. Pretty much the only thing up north, north of us that we get any advertising whatsoever is the Venue Event Center, which they're rocking and doing their thing. Shout out to Sean for doing that. But yeah, you don't see anything else. We've been coming up to the Emmett County Fair for what, I've been coming up. This will be the 4th year now, I think.
Yeah.
And I've gone to concerts up there, gone to the Emmett County Fair, and seen some cool acts up there. And to the day of going to the concert up there, you still see no advertisement of the concert that we're going to. You know, they don't.
Outside of, right, like, unless you follow Big Country, who does a great job of sharing stuff.
Big Country, Susan over there.
Or the fair's Facebook page.
Yeah.
You're not going to know.
Yeah, it's like, why do they not put out more? They pull some good acts up there in northern Michigan, and it's like, why are you not just blasting this everywhere? So I don't know what's going on. What's the Bay Harbor one called?
That's called the Great Lakes Center for the Arts.
Yep, Great Lakes Center for the Arts. It's like, shoot, you went and saw Alana Springsteen there last year, right?
Yep.
And I think you texted me like the day of or the day before, and you're like, hey, going to this show. And I was like, never knew that show was even going on, that she was even coming there. It's like, and I think you said the same thing. Like,
I had heard about it like 3 days before.
Yeah. It's like, she's a pretty big up and comer. And I mean, she's on, CMT, like all, she's a well-known person. Why wouldn't you? And didn't you say there was tickets left for that show too?
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't you advertise and sell that thing out? Like, come on now.
Well, I follow them, on Facebook, and I signed up for their emails, so I get stuff now from them,
right.
But they've had bigger names. They've had Randy Houser there. We went to.
We saw that.
They've had
Tanner Adele there last year.
Yep, but they've had some of the older country artists as well. Jody Messina. Who else? I want to say Trisha Yearwood was even there, that I found out about after the fact.
Right? It's like, you're 10 minutes down the road, where you work at from where this is going on, and you don't even hear about it. And you're like a country music junkie who finds every concert possible to go to, but yet you don't hear about stuff like that in your own town.
Well, that's where I've gotten so good at searching stuff out, because it's not readily available. And so I'm using apps like Bands in Town to know about stuff,
Right.
I shouldn't be hearing about a concert in my town from an app when there's literally not been a single. Hell, a perfect example. Why am I seeing Them Dirty Roses is going to be at Odawa on May 31st, and I go into Odawa Friday night, and there's not even a poster anywhere that says they're coming.
Right. Just over a month away.
Right.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
The Firefighters Association, I get they're not a business. It's all volunteers.
Sure.
Put a Facebook post out so people know. Guess what? It's going to get shared. And
shared
we've seen
and shared
Brian
and shared.
Martin. We'll be at that show for sure.
Yeah.
Wanted to see Taylor Austin die. You as well. We've talked about that. And so that's like a no-brainer for us to be there.
Right.
But like, why does nobody seem to worry about, like, you wonder why there's poor turnout. It's not because you're not bringing good artists in. It's because people don't know about it till it's too late and they already have plans or whatever.
Right.
If people can plan accordingly, they're going to make plans to be there. I mean, for Chase Matthew, we're not going to be there because we're going to be in Nashville, and I'm not going to give up a Nashville trip to go to a show. But if I didn't have like something major going on, guess where I'd be?
Cheatham County.
No.
615, baby. Church. That's where I'd be.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, and the same thing, like Brian Martin, he's coming up there it's a benefit, right? It's for the firemen, the volunteers and stuff like that to try to get, budgeting.
Yeah.
Why would you not be sharing that everywhere and try to get as many people there and as much publicity on that? Because in the end all, like you said, it's completely free for them to advertise on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. And when they make a post and they tag Taylor Austin Day and Brian Martin in it, that they're probably going to share it too, and anybody that follows them is going to see that pop up on their screen.
Yeah, so their last post, I just looked it up. And I talked to somebody on their fire department and was like, you guys got to do something. Like, this is not okay. Their last post was September 29th, 2024. And it was a thank you to all their advertisers, ticket purchasers, and donors for last year's show, who was Avriana, which I never heard about.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I would have went and seen her. She's pretty freaking cool. Like I'm
what?
liking her. Yeah.
You know what? I don't I I don't know. I feel like, if you want to put something on, if you're gonna have somebody come perform and you're gonna sell tickets, and it's already locked in. Clearly it's locked in because it's on Brian Martin's website. Right? It's on Taylor Austin Dye's website. Locked in. It's not an if. It's not a we're working on. It's done. It's done. It's in stone. Tickets are actually available. I found the link for the tickets already. You can buy them.
Yeah. And
there's not been a single advertising post at all.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
And it's like, come on, people, you're selling yourself short. One, it's a disservice to the community to not have the word out there for people that want to go see live music.
Yeah.
Two, you're doing a disservice to your venue or your organization by not putting that out as soon as possible to let people start making plans and buying their tickets.
Right. Nobody wants to do it last minute because, especially in the summertime in northern Michigan. Summertime in northern Michigan, I mean, that's why people live in Michigan through ice apocalypse and the snow and, the frigid temperatures and starting the car in the morning when there's an inch of ice on it. Like, because summertime in northern Michigan is like the time to be outside enjoying the lakes, enjoying nature, fires and stuff like that. All of a sudden you find out a day before a concert or a couple days before, you already have your plans made. You already have your barbecues lined up. You already have your boating trips. So, like you said, give them a chance to make the plans. I mean, the minute we heard that Brian Martin's coming up there, I put it on my calendar to lock that in so I know not to make plans for that weekend. Like,
yep.
So, yeah, and it's like you said, it's a disservice to the artists that you're bringing in as well, because a lot of those people, if you are selling tickets, obviously that's like a benefit and stuff that they're doing. So they're going to rely on their merch sales and whatnot, and they're probably donating their time. But for the other events, the fair, the other places, I'm sure some of those artists get part of the door.
No, most of them are getting paid a flat fee.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, and so really the disservice to the artist becomes an empty crowd. Like, they don't want to play for an empty crowd.
Right.
Especially
they're used to playing big stages and stuff like that. Some of these artists that are, more well known, and you come up there and, I mean, what we see last year, Trace Adkins.
Yeah.
And you turn around and there was seats available everywhere. And it's like, for someone like him who's played sold out arenas probably in his prime time, and he's getting a little bit out there, but for you to make a decision to jump back and go on tour again, it's like you would hope that you're filling stadium, at least selling out smaller venues
and that was probably the biggest turnout for any of the fair shows yet. I mean, when we saw Chris Jansen, it was half the crowd that there was for Trace Adkins, and
right.
That was another one that you were like, what do you mean, Chris? Where's Chris Jansen playing at?
Yeah.
And I'm like, at the fair.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody that's watching this, knows anything of why that they wouldn't be advertising. I mean, could it possibly be that northern Michigan venues don't want a bunch of people from like downstate coming up or going to the shows and packing it out? But I'm sure there's enough people in northern Michigan alone that would want to go and see these shows.
Well, here's the thing: Northern Michigan relies almost exclusively on people coming up here. You know, the tourism
Tourism,
industry is huge. So that would be absolutely ridiculous to like be like, oh, we don't want people from downstate coming to this concert. At the end of the day, if I've got a venue, guess how many empty seats I want in that place? None.
right?
None. I
Right.
want to sell every freaking ticket possible.
I'm going to
And
be hitting up like rental companies to get extra chairs in because it's sold out and there's a wait list, and I want to try to pack more chairs in.
yeah, I want the fire marshal coming in like, ooh, you guys are at the capacity. We can't have any more people. Okay,
Right.
fine. You know, and that, well, look at the venue event center. They do that. They pack it out. And what have they done? They expanded. And then what did they do? They expanded again. What are they, like, they get it.
Yeah.
They're like, hell yeah, we want to pack this place out. We want to bring bigger names and, you know, more national acts. And we want to keep filling this building week after week after week. Like,
Yeah.
that's just simple freaking business math. Like, you want to sell out.
Right. Right. Yeah. And just, talking with some of the people behind the scenes down there, that's we've heard, and we've heard from other venues and other people that try to get acts and stuff like that, that you put out feelers to some of these people, and you try to get the bigger stars and stuff. And sometimes you can get them, and sometimes they're on to bigger and better stuff, not bigger and better, but they want a bigger event. They want, instead of say 1,000 people, they want 2,000 people. So
Right.
people like Sean, like, and his whole team there, they get that. And what did he tell us? That they already purchased like 3 acres or something behind the venue to maybe that they can expand and maybe do like an outdoor, a venue center. So, the casino down here in Mount Pleasant did the exact same thing back in the day when they first started. They've had concerts forever. All of a sudden, they put up a couple bleachers and a stage in the parking lot. I was
Yeah.
actually working at the casino back then, and I remember those concerts in the parking lot, and people just talking about how miserable it was because it'd be like 80, 90 degrees out, and you're on blacktop, and the
Yeah.
heat's just resonating up. So I can only imagine what the artists on stage were feeling. But what did they do when they needed more and more? They bulldozed and pushed a big hill up and ended up building a massive outdoor stage and arena to try
Right.
to get bigger acts and more people in there to see live music. Plus, I mean, they want people, if you own a business, like you said, it's business 101. Why would you not want to get as many people in there as possible to get food, get drinks, visit your location, check it out? So,
So here's another one just to show you. All right. Low cash.
oh, at the Venetian Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's this. Their Facebook page hasn't even announced it.
And why not? Why would you not want to? As
And
soon
that's
as you
a
lock somebody in and you got the details worked out, it should be put out there.
that one's a little more understandable. All of the concerts at Venetian Fest are free. They're not charging anything.
Okay.
So they're not making money by selling tickets to that show. But they also have Smash Mouth and Three Dog Night this year at the
Oh.
Venetian Festival. They've posted about both of those already, but they've not posted about Low Cash.
Right.
And Low Cash is I don't know if that tour's done right now or if it's still ongoing. They've literally been playing like Gillette Stadium with Kane Brown. They've been on
Yeah.
tour with him.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Right. So you're going to go to a sold out arena for Kane Brown. You're going to see Low Cash open for them. They're used to playing a massive stadium, and now they're going to come to Venetian Festival. And yeah, you'll probably get the locals that are already going to be down there, or maybe they will put it out there. And all of a sudden you show up and you're like, why did we even travel 18 hours or, however long it takes you to get to northern Michigan to play a half a full amphitheater.
Yeah, it'll be packed. It always is, even though they don't get out the best advertisement. I actually saw Low Cash there. I had to go back and look it up the other day.
They played there before?
When I knew they were coming back. They played there in 2014. Oh. They were still the Low Cash Cowboys back then.
I was going to say Low Cash Cowboys probably.
Yep, and I've got the meet and greet pictures from then as well. So I'm a big fan. I've seen them I couldn't even tell you, probably at least 4 or 5 times I've seen Low Cash.
They played at Faster Horses, haven't they?
Yep, and got to meet them there as well on 2 different occasions
nice.
at Faster Horses. I've met them, I think, 3 times now, maybe 4. I was going through my meet and greet pictures, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I remember that too. Yeah. But, yeah, it's weird to me that people don't fully, jump on board with that kind of stuff. Right. And, just an interjection here, because we've already gone a ways into this. So I feel like we were going to do a new artist spotlight, and I feel like it'd be a huge disservice to that artist to do one now. Right. And be 20 minutes into the podcast. So I think we'll skip that. I'm calling an audible. Blue 22.
I audibled you about 5 minutes ago.
Did you, when I was looking up other stuff?
Before that, I actually I said, I think we were about 15 minutes into it, and I was like, let's just roll with this one right now. So
yeah, sometimes that happens.
I was gonna say, anybody that's watched season 1 of the podcast kind of knows how this podcast was started. This podcast started in Studio South Man Cave and Studio North, of just Matt and I sitting around talking music, talking artists, talking about stuff just like this, or we might get on one topic and we spiral and run down this rabbit hole. And so that was kind of where our friends and everything that were sitting around us, they were like, gosh, you guys end up having really good conversations, when you're not even trying to talk about it. So obviously that's what happened right now, to where we went down a rabbit hole talking about, music promotion and everything, which is all part of the music game. So yeah, that's obviously what happened here. And we'll still get in that new artist spotlight, so don't worry about that. But yeah, it would be a disservice, because he deserves a full episode of talking. So
absolutely. And we didn't touch on merch.
Oh, some Alabama.
And so both of us went vintage today, again, without any communication at all. Yeah. And thought it was funny when we got on here, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Oh, Dolly.
Shake him.
and again, yin to the yang, I got the Dolly Parton and the Y'all Need Music podcast hat. Matt's wearing the Y'all Need Music shirt and the Alabama hat. So, again, not planned. I don't know how this works. It's the aura in the sky just kind of communicates to us. So
right.
Back to the Venetian Festival really quick. I know you said that it's a free show and everything like that, but again, without doing service to the town of Charlevoix, Michigan, and getting people to the Venetian Fest, all those businesses, like you said before, Northern Michigan relies on tourism and getting people there. Anybody that might be on the fence that, usually comes up to the Venetian Festival. I remember when I was in Traverse City, and sometimes we'd go over to it, sometimes we wouldn't. Something like that, if I was on the fence about, are we going to go to Venetian Festival? And then you see, oh, by the way, Low Cash is playing a free concert there.
Oh, yes, I'm going.
That solidified me of hey, should we go out on the boat today, or should we go to the Venetian Festival and watch that? Or should we take the boat to the harbor there and watch it from the harbor? So
yeah, and we actually did that a couple of years ago with Drake White. At Venetian, and we watched it from the boat, and that was so freaking cool. Just Drake White is one of those guys, and if you don't know him, he's not a huge name. His name's out there, but that dude's voice is so freaking incredible. He's one of those people that could sing you the alphabet and you'd be like, damn, that sounded good. But like just that atmosphere of the sun going down, sitting on the water in a boat, and you can see the stage just fine. You're kind of off to the side a little bit, but to hear just great music, just kick back, relaxing on a boat, cocktail in hand, sun going down.
Yeah. Well, and anybody that hasn't been to Charlevoix, it's a sunken amphitheater too, right there. So that puts out some great sound, even if you are on the side, left or right. I've been to a concert up there. I didn't go to the concert. It was one of those times when I was younger in Travers, and we bounced over and just were walking the strip up and down. And I couldn't even tell you who was singing at the time, but I remember we were just walking up there by the bridge and everything. And all of a sudden somebody was on there and you could just hear it. Like, I mean, it was plain as day. It sounded like I was listening in my headphones or something, as much like as that amphitheater, put out. So even if you're not right down there, you're still going to get a good sound and everything. So I can only imagine then being on the water with it. So
yeah. And there's it's not uncommon for Kid Rock to be there. We've seen Kid Rock a number of times. He's just there hanging out because he's got a place in Charlevoix. Does
he have a place in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought maybe he was on his boat, because a lot of times he'll be on his boat there and then goes up to Mackinac Island from there.
Yeah, no, he's got a place right there in Charlevoix, and so it's not uncommon for him to be there checking out the shows as well. But back to Traverse City and on the original topic that we were on of advertising stuff, Traverse City does the National Cherry Festival, and they bring in some big names, and they actually get it right. They advertise the hell out of that stuff. And so, it's like they make big concert announcements. They got Tyler Hubbard this year, among others, but I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen a sponsored post roll through my Facebook feed, that Tyler Hubbard's going to be at the National Cherry Festival, almost to the point of like, yeah, I know. Yeah,
I get it.
You don't have to keep showing me. And that's kind of the yin and the yang, if you will, of up north, right? The Cherry Festival gets it right. They advertise the hell out of it, and they get huge, huge turnouts.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, and you and I have talked about this, bazillion times ourselves, if I go to Detroit to see a show, it's going to cost me so much money in time and gas and meals and hotel and everything else. Yeah. Usually it's the same way for Grand Rapids. When we saw Alabama in Grand Rapids, it was a hotel, drive down, yada, yada, all that stuff. Sometimes tickets at these smaller venues will be a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if I'm going to pay $50 for a ticket to see whoever, right, in Detroit or Grand Rapids or something like that, and it might cost me $65 to buy a ticket to see them at the Great Lakes Center or at the Cherry Festival or whatever. Do I care? Hell no, because I'm going home at the end of the night. Like I can get a ride if I want to have some cocktails, or if I'm not drinking, I can drive home, and I'm home. Hell, the other night we saw Soul Asylum at Odawa. I was home before 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. To me, and like the venue, I know they got a show coming up that they're doing on a Sunday, and they're doing doors open at like 5, shows at 6. So that you can go to the show and be done by 8 and go home and still work the next day.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they're thinking outside of the box, bringing in artists and doing shows like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like they're promoting it. They're advertising the hell out of it. People are getting that information. And the Brian Martin Taylor Austin Dice show, that's a $35 show.
Yeah.
20 minutes from my house.
Is that what it is? 20 minutes?
Yeah.
God, I wish we knew like like a car service or shuttle service up in that area, we could just get like a party bus or something like that.
Yeah,
That
because
would be,
we haven't done that before.
yeah, that'd be great to get on one of them party buses to take some of these concerts.
Right. Well, so like for me, and I'm hoping that nobody from the Boyne City Firefighter Association is listening to me, and I don't mean to like dog on them at all. Like you just don't know what you don't know if that's not your realm. But ask people. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I would gladly pay $50 to see Brian Martin there. I would gladly pay $70 to see Brian Martin and Taylor Austin die there
Yeah.
because I got nothing in gas, nothing really in time going to and from. Like that's worth something to me,
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, I'll pay 35. Like I'm glad that's all it is, because
Right.
that means more concerts. I wish all concerts were $35. But I'm not opposed to paying more. People aren't opposed to paying more if they can do it locally and come home if they're big time concert junkies.
Right. Right. Yeah. So anybody watching out there, like if you guys know any insight to this, if you're in the the music business or the marketing or anything of that nature, chime in, let us know as far as like if there's reasoning or what the deal is of why Northern Michigan doesn't advertise like they should for these concerts, because music junkies are getting a disservice to them.
You know what I'm going to do? I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm so over it. I'm going to create an event on Facebook for that concert from our Y'all Need Music.
Yeah.
And I'll include Brian Martin, Taylor Austin Die in it, and the Boyne City Firefighters Association. And I'll create the event, and we can share it. And we'll pack the damn place for them then.
Heck yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll do the same thing for Low Cash and Venetian. If they're not going to do it, we'll do it. We'll start. Hell, maybe we need to. Do we need to branch out? Y'all need music promotions?
I mean, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. And I mean, like you said though, what's it going to take to do an event like that? 10 minutes of some Facebook posting?
Yeah, it would be literally a 10-minute Facebook post.
Right.
I would get some images of Brian Martin's tour, Taylor Austin Die's tour. I'd tag them in it. I'd tag, the Boyne City Firefighters Association in it. I'd put the venue in there just like you would for the location, the times, and I'd put a link for the tickets and let people start buying them.
Yeah.
Let's sell it out.
Right. I mean, and it's no skin off our teeth for it, but it's going to get it out there and get shared around and everything. So yeah, I think that's a great idea. Because if they're not going to do it and get it out there, why shouldn't somebody else,
I'm going to do that tonight. Honestly, if I remember after going and doing more manual labor.
Yeah. If you guys are watching this podcast, it won't air for a few days and everything like that. So hopefully by the time that this podcast airs, make sure you jump on the Y'all Need Music Facebook page, because I'm sure we'll share it from there. So that way you guys can, look at the concert, look at the venue, and check it out. And if we have a link on there that you can buy tickets.
And I'll make sure to put, because I think it'll come through as like we're putting on the event, and I'll make sure to put in like the description. We're not putting it on.
Right.
We're just putting it out there.
We're raising awareness.
Like I'm not trying to take credit like we're hosting this concert at all. It's just more about like I'm befuddled. How about that? There's a word you don't hear that often.
Befuddled.
I'm befuddled at the fact that it's not an event yet on social media that people can share their interest in.
Yeah. Yeah. So before we wrap up with this one on the same topic, and I'm going off the rails on this one. I don't know if Matt's on this one or not, but it's somebody that we've actually Matt's been talking with in the past here, and somebody that is similar in what they're doing. It's a group on Facebook, Michigan Country Entertainment.
Oh yeah.
So Michigan Country Entertainment,
Al Garcia.
Al Garcia, the admin of that group, you know, he's somebody that we've seen many times, like on our Faster
Concert
Horses pages
journeys.
and concert journeys. Is he a DJ?
Yeah,
DJ down in the
WITL, I believe, in Lansing.
Yep, yep. So he's one of those guys that when we post stuff on our like Faster Horses page or anything of that nature, going to concerts and stuff, I always see this guy. I've seen him the past few years. Like, man, this guy goes to a lot of concerts. He's doing a lot of meet and greets and stuff, like similar to us. He is a guy that put together this Michigan Country Entertainment group, and we're gonna actually dive into the group and everything in the future. Hopefully, maybe possibly get Al Garcia on the podcast.
And a lot of those artists that he's got as part of Michigan Country Entertainment too. There's some really great artists that Michigan's got some. I don't think we're known. Michigan's not known for like country music,
right?
But they're working on changing that.
Yep. He's put together a group of Michigan-based artists, and he's like a label, isn't he?
I don't know.
Maybe a music label, but just a promoter,
a talent agency kind of thing. Promoter. I'm not sure. Like I'd love to. Like I said, I've reached out to Al and talked to him, and I think we're gonna have him on here before too long. But yeah, just like. If there's somebody in Michigan that has their finger on the pulse of country music, dare I say more than us even?
I mean, he's lucky enough that he's a DJ and he gets to listen and talk country music all day long. So yeah, I mean, he's definitely there with us, if not more. And
I would say more. I mean, he knows a lot more of these Michigan country artists.
Yeah,
because I've discovered several of them compliments of him. So that's where it's like, all right, he's got us beat on finger on the pulse a little more than we do. But it's great for music. It's great for Michigan,
absolutely.
and it's great for these up and coming artists out of Michigan. So,
right. But yeah, and I just wanted to give a big shout out to him. As far as the reason why I wanted to mention him is because obviously, like, I joined the group, follow him and everything like that. But you see, he's on it when it comes to promoting shows, and a lot of these artists that he signed are people that they're just starting out or they're grinding all the time, and they're playing a bar here and a bar there and traveling, and then he's trying to get them bigger, and that's great. I love that because you're gonna get to, he's advertising that stuff. You want to see that stuff. He's advertising all these Michigan artists that are going to be playing around there. And that's what we need more of, is that kind of advertisement and marketing in the Michigan area.
Yeah.
Not only for acts that they bring in from Nashville and nationwide. Obviously, that should be a set in stone. And this guy is doing it for Michigan-based artists. So, it's just like I said, we'll try to get him on the podcast and dip in a little bit more. Obviously, he's got a little more insight on that kind of marketing scheme. I shouldn't say scheme, marketing idea. But yeah, that's I think making that group and everything. Like, I mean, the more people that can get these concerts and these names out there to people in Michigan that might not know about them. Not that our fan base has a huge reach right now. We're working on it every day. Make sure you guys are, liking, following, and sharing our stuff, especially something like this. If we create a page or an event with a concert, make sure you guys are sharing that, because the more times you share that, the more people are going to be seeing it,
You know what we should do? We should get with Al, get him on the podcast, and then we should do the Y'all Need Michigan concert series and have all of these Michigan country artists on, do like a 3-month span or something where every week we've got, one of these Michigan artists on, or maybe rotate it and have some other, shit mixed in. But maybe we should do that for the rest of the year is highlight all of these Michigan artists as, part of a little series.
Right, absolutely, because I don't want to no spoiler alert or anything, but Al's putting together with that group. He's putting together a concert later on in July to feature all these artists. Okay,
Yeah, Country Roads.
Spoiler alert! It's actually going to be down at Brooklyn, Michigan, the same weekend that Faster Horses should have been. So it's pretty awesome that he's kind of taking the reins on that, and still all these people that love to go to Faster Horses, get their live music in, get their camping in. He's kind of making that possible again, obviously on a much smaller level, but it's a level at that. So
well, and they, I don't know, did you see their headliners that they announced?
I did see that Colt Ford's going to be there.
Yeah.
Drew Baldridge is going to be there.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the other one.
I'm pulling it up right now just because I didn't want to misquote anything. Restless Road.
Yeah, Restless Road. I was going to say it's a group. I know that.
Yeah, so tickets are on sale right now, July 18th through 20th at the Groves of Michigan. And I think they're the ones kind of that are the driving force, and Al's working with them, if I understand it correctly, to make this happen and bring all of these Michigan artists to the weekend, if you will, of country music. And they're trying to keep it. They don't want it Faster Horses big. Right. They want it to be a smaller, like
intimate.
They're probably one of the coolest things that they're doing is they're like doing like bonfire shows.
I was gonna say the campfire confessions, almost
like, yes, please.
Right, sitting around a campfire, listening to some country music.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that before. Sam Grow does those backyard sessions.
Yeah,
and one of these days, that is happening at my house. Like, it's for sure happening. I may have to sell one of my kids or something. I'm not really sure. But I'm going to have Sam Grow in my backyard, and we're going to just have like 10 or 15 of us. I ain't selling tickets to it. We're just going to be sitting around the bonfire, having some drinks, shooting the shit, and, listening to damn good music. We'll probably keep a camera rolling the whole time to have some badass content. But yeah, I mean, that kind of stuff that's where it's really at. Like, to have somebody, just a little acoustic set around a bonfire. Is there much better than that?
I mean, a lot of these people probably got their starts when they were young kids, just strumming a guitar around a bonfire.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's super cool. I would love to see Sam Grow like that. I was going to say, you don't want to do it in northern Michigan because then, the advertising's not going to get out. But if you want it as a small venue, then yeah, I said we should do it at Studio South here in mid-Michigan where we get the advertising.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, if we were doing it, we'd be advertising it. But no, I don't want a crowd. I want just friends chilling, having like the experience of a lifetime. Like, we just had a concert in my backyard. Right, like, how cool is that?
So anybody that's watching this right now, if we ever make this possible, the people that are going to get the invite besides the close personal friends of Y'all Need Music is going to be our top fans. So make sure you guys are liking, sharing, subscribing, getting more people on here, commenting, interacting, because we get all those notifications of our top fans and everything like that. Not only do we love giving away concert tickets to concerts that we're going to, even concerts that we might not be going to, we love to experience live music with people and new people. So we've given away quite a few tickets over the past couple years here. So, top fans, you might get the invite to have a personal bonfire session. So make sure you guys are going on there, liking and subscribing.
Absolutely. All right, I think on that note, let's wrap it up. I'm gonna go get back to chainsawing and stacking wood and hauling stuff and everything to get my parents' house clean. So
Sounds
uh,
good.
we will catch you guys next week here on
Y'all Need Music Podcast.
Later.